live.
All right, so those of you that just happen to be watching us live, if you're one of our Patreon members, again, thank you for supporting the show. This is Stormfront Freaks Raw, and so again, raw meaning this is the recording, so you never know what you're going to get. You kind of get everything in between. A little bit of the Howard Stern factor. You don't know what's going to be said next issue. But what we do is we'll edit this audio, and then we will post that to our audio podcast. That'll be available sometime right around Christmas on all the big podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio,
Castbox.
Google Google Podcast. And pretty much go find something that'll play a podcast and search Stormfront Freaks, and you'll find us. But anyway, so this is the recording. We call it Raw. We got Meredith Garofalo with us tonight from Weather Nation, so we're looking forward to kind of chatting with her as well. Is everybody, for the most part, kind of ready to go?
Meredith?
Yes.
Is it pronounced Garofalo?
Garfalo. So he
Garfalo.
got it right. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I totally got that wrong.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, are you related to that actress?
Wow.
If you walk away, I'll Garfalo.
And you can always Garfalo my forecast every week.
Woo!
I don't get those puns. I don't understand.
From the 80s. You know.
No worries. It's all good. I was born in the 80s, so we're good.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. And, hey, a quick shout out. Curtis is one of our new Patreon supporters as well. So Curtis, thank you. Thanks
Curtis.
for that.
Welcome, Curtis.
Yeah.
Brendan Curtis.
Who do we got on tonight? We got anybody in the chat? Yeah. If you're live with us, feel free to jump on the chat, guys. All right. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to do my quick pre-opening. So let me quick do that. Yeah, it's like the opening before the opening. So I'll just quick do that soundbite, and then we'll get to the actual opening. Are we good?
Guy looked in the private chat and it was Brad Hams. I said, "What the heck's Brad Hams?" And then I looked down and
that was my YouTube name. That was my alias.
We do have potential moms watching us tonight too. Meredith, is your mom? Is she watching tonight?
I'm not sure, but if she is, she needs to log in and say,
Hi.
"Hey, it's Mrs. Garofalo, Mama G."
Hi,
Meredith, Mom.
My grandma's on, but she's not going to know how to leave a comment, so don't.
Oh, okay. Hi, Grandma.
And I just made a comment about your porn name.
No, that's not.
Wow.
That was my fake meteorology name because I was so popular.
Brad Hams.
Brad Hams.
I love it.
Cool. Here we go. Coming pre-opening in 3, 2. Hey, Storm Freaks, this is Phil, and we're bringing Weather Nation meteorologist Meredith Garofalo to you on episode 121. And what's a show without hashtag weather fools, wasted weather clips, and of course, Weather Trollbot 5000. All right. So here we go. So we'll do the opening. I'll do the quick little what's everybody drinking, and then Maz, you got Meredith's intro.
Yeah, if I can get it to come up here.
All right.
It was there and then it's gone. My computer's acting funky tonight. It's very bizarre. But yeah, it should be there.
All right, and then about 25 after or so, we'll take. I'll do the quick drive weather bit, and we'll go to break. Okay. Oh, let me.
Sounds good, Phil.
See you later, Dan.
You approve that? All right. So here we go. We're coming in 3, 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. It's brought to you by the Drive Weather app. Get the hourly forecast along your winter route. You can download Drive Weather now from your app store. I want a special shout out and thanks to our Patreon members for supporting the show, and those of you joining us live tonight as we record with our guests. You can join us like new member Curtis. You can go to patreon.com/stormfrontfreaks and find all the options there. And before we get to our guests, let's see which of our co-hosts are joining us at the bar tonight. It's always happy hour when we record this thing. I don't care what time it is, or what time zone you're in. Right, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So let's start with MJ up in Minnesota. What are you drinking, MJ?
All right, tonight I have a more traditional rum and Coke in a smaller glass than I'm accustomed to, but that's good for me.
That is a short glass.
Going cheap on us, man.
Well, there's always refills, right? Right, MJ?
This is true.
All right, Greg's in Canada. You got to be drinking something to keep you warm.
Man, listen, I'm doing a little bit different today. I'm actually double fisting, so feeling a little tired. So I've got some coffee in my coffee mug, and then I've got a gin and tonic on the go right now as well. I didn't know where I couldn't decide. So
interesting.
Hitting them both.
Combination. All right, that's fair. Dina's down in Atlanta. What are you drinking, Dina?
Just a nice little glass of Merlot, chilling. Nothing too fancy.
All right. Well, hey, we're not the most entertaining weather podcast for nothing. All right, man. What are you drinking?
Well, Mark, I've got Wild Turkey 101 and Coke. Just to let you know.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Top of your glass was missing right there for the green screen effect. So
I always remember hearing that Wild Turkey. Who was it? Whatever rock stars were in the plane crash that died. Like was it Buddy Holly and
the day the music died?
Richie Valens.
Yeah, Richie Valens. I heard they were drinking Wild Turkey. That's just
really
what I heard.
It's got some rye in it. I have a hard time with the pumpernickel seeds. They get stuck in there.
All right, Brady up in Columbus. What are you drinking?
I'm going to the beach in about a week, so drinking some Michelob Ultra because got to keep the washboard abs. So.
Dude, you're in a high COVID state. You're gonna go get Florida busted up again, aren't you?
Please! I was in Florida back when Florida was the high COVID state, and it was not bad. So
no, wait. Are you talking like a beach at Lake Erie? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm going to Florida, baby. I am getting away from the snow, man. I hate it.
You should do the whole polar bear dip thing. That's what you should be doing.
Oh, come on! We're getting 3 inches, and New York's getting 40 inches from the same storm. That's brutal. All
right, Maz, let's get to what people are actually here to listen to.
What, not Brady's abs?
No.
Anyway. All right. Hey, Meredith Garofalo is joining us tonight. She joined the Weather Nation TV in 2017. Now, she's been live out in the field during destructive tropical storms on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Brady, raging wildfires in Southern California, Brady, and covered the wreckage from tornadoes in the Great Plains. Now, prior to joining Weather Nation, Meredith worked in Santa Barbara, Rapid City, South Dakota, Sarasota, and began her career as an intern at WGN TV in Chicago. Wow. She received a bachelor's degree in meteorology from Valparaiso University. Welcome, Meredith. Which is your favorite spot?
Oh my gosh. I'm sure I have people that'll be listening from everywhere that'll say, you gotta pick us. But, I do really, I have to say, to be all honest, when I first got the job offer in Rapid City, I was like, where is it? And I felt so terrible, and all my social studies professors would be so mad at my geography. But I really did enjoy the Black Hills, and I think everywhere I've lived has something special about it. The Black Hills in South Dakota were so exciting because I grew up in Cleveland, so when you were talking about the beach on Lake Erie, I was snickering behind the scenes. But I think that got me excited about hiking and being outdoors. The beaches on the Gulf Coast of Florida were fantastic. Siesta Key, the white sand beaches, I love that. Santa Barbara, you can't beat mountains, and then also being right near the ocean. And then here in Denver, the Rockies. I mean, I think I'm just a nature girl at heart, which I guess that makes sense since I'm a meteorologist, right?
Meredith will be running for Congress soon with that.
Meredith, you were from Cleveland. I'm from the suburbs there. Where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Parma. So if you go straight down I-77, ooh, do you?
I know my grandparents live there. My sister lives there. Yep, all family. So yeah. All right, got another Buckeye.
Woohoo! Go! Oh,
hey.
OH.
I-O.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You guys just got the world's. You guys just got the world's biggest eye roll from Phil.
So I want to, and I live in Ohio, so that just FYI. But anyway, I want to know a little bit, Meredith. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know a ton about Weather Nation. I have watched it on Pluto TV a handful of times because I don't get cable. So sorry, Dina, but I don't watch, which you probably wouldn't care. I don't watch the Weather Channel. I do follow it on the app.
Well, that's my job. So
that's her jam.
So I'd just tell us a little bit about Weather Nation and kind of what their strengths are in the world of national TV weather.
Well, it's really exciting because I cover the national forecast, just like you'll see with other national weather networks, but I also get to do regional forecasts. And so I cover from New York City down to Florida. I'll cover Rapid City down to Dallas. And then I'll do more specific regional forecasts from, say, Seattle down to Santa Barbara. And it's fun because I get to use a lot of my local television experience with my national forecasting. And it's a lot of teamwork, which is fantastic because like with some of the other national networks, you have your co-anchors. And the nice thing is you've got people from all over the country that come together and they bring their experience. And so I get to use all my experience in markets to help out when we have, for example, a Santa Ana wind event in Southern California or a Great Lakes snow event, because that's where I grew up. And then I'm also working with people that were deep in the heart of Texas and forecast there and Myrtle Beach. And so pretty much every single day I'm covering the top weather headlines, but I'm also helping produce forecasts for specific regions like the Northeast, for example. And I also do Caribbean forecasting. So I get to channel my inner Caribbean, I wish I was on the beach, tropical kind of situation.
Who doesn't?
Right?
Did you get a forecast this past snowstorm?
I did a few days. For more of the leading up to it, I was actually off yesterday and today. So it was more of the preparedness forecasting that I got to do. And gosh, snow events are tough. I'll be honest. Any meteorologist knows they are very tough.
I think snow is the hardest thing because if you don't get the precip type right, it's all, if it mixes in with sleet or rain, it changes your totals completely.
The forecasting was really great on this event, though.
Yeah.
It seemed to come in pretty close to what the forecast was, so that's
yeah,
pretty
it was
cool.
Pretty good.
So tell me, I'm sorry, I want to jump in just a little bit more because I do want to find out a little bit more about Weather Nation. So I know you guys. So obviously you talked about all the forecasting that you do for various areas, obviously around the country, and some extended parts of that. But what I guess. What was the history of Weather Nation? What's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish? In the global format. And because you're competing with the Weather Channel. So I want to know kind of Weather Nation. What's their goal? What are they trying to do?
Well, I think what we really are strong at is we do weather 24/7. So you can turn on Weather Nation any time of day, even overnight. And we've got forecasts that are always running, whether it's the national or the regional. And so we just want to be a source of weather information that people know that it doesn't matter where you are across the country or what time of day, you always have an option to get the forecast and the most up-to-date forecast from us. And as I mentioned, I think what's awesome is we do not just the national part, but the regional part. So say there's nothing happening in the Northeast, you're still going to get your forecast within every hour of every day.
Yes, but do you have Jim Cantori's voice in every city every 8 minutes?
Well, I guess I'll have to do voices. What is that? Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire? I do voices. Thunder snow!
Yeah, I was just going to say use thunder snow and you'll be good. You'll have it.
So Meredith, I have a question. I think sometimes we get people who do national forecasting on this show, and a lot of them have experience like yours where they worked in local markets and then they worked in the national market. Do you miss forecasting at the local level, or do you like forecasting at the national level better?
That's such a good question. I get asked that all the time because I really enjoy the national forecast because I'm talking to people all over the country, and I'm also learning while I'm forecasting. So if I haven't done a forecast for that area before, like when I started here, I get to learn from every event and become a better forecaster. But, I do miss the get down to it street level mapping, like when you have tornado warnings and I know the area, like the dry cleaner over there on 10th Street, and I can give, more of those really in-depth forecasts. Whereas when you're forecasting nationally, you don't have as much time to prepare because you're literally preparing a forecast for the entire United States and the Caribbean.
Well, speaking of that, so run through your day at Weather Nation, like minute by minute. Go.
Minute by minute. Well, since I work a 10-hour shift, we're going to be here for a while.
No, so like what time you go in, and then tell us what is it? Is that different there than it has been in any of the other stations you're at?
Well, we do a lot more weather, and as I was mentioning, I work 4 days a week, and I work 10 hours a day, and so it's a shorter work week, but it's a lot more forecasting during the day. I'm either upstairs for half of my shift, or I'm downstairs preparing forecasts and updating our regional forecasts and our Caribbeans and putting stuff out on social media and updating web stories. And so, when I get in, I literally have a meeting with my team for the evening, since I come in at 11:30 a.m. local time. I used to be on the morning shift, and we were just talking about that earlier. So I'm finally getting a little bit more sleep recently, which is nice. But it's coming in, getting your forecasting, highlighting those top stories, seeing where we can reach out to people and get that local information. And I really enjoy setting up interviews and doing networking with local National Weather Service offices, or if it's a big topic, like, for example, we just had the launch earlier from the Crew Dragon mission, and talking to the astronauts before, or setting up interviews with NASA and NOAA and getting those fun science interviews that gets people excited about not just the weather that's happening, but the science that's going on all across the country. Sometimes that's part of my day, and I really enjoy that as well.
Are the astronauts crazy? Are they crazy?
They're super cool. They're just like us. They're like, yep, about to go up into space. They're all chill. They're not stressed at all. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even know how I'd mentally prepare for a rocket launch.
See, Maz, you can be an astronaut too, man. You could be an astronaut too.
You're about to call me a space cadet, aren't you?
Hey, Meredith, I have a question about your background. So you've done obviously the kind of anchor role, but obviously some reporting as well. What do you prefer? Do you prefer being in the studio doing the forecast, or do you prefer, like, oh my gosh, there was a tornado, I'm going to go out and meet people and cover that story? Where does your like, which is more exciting for you in that sense?
Well, I have to say, I do love being in the studio and being able to help keep people calm, but also get across tornado warnings or breaking information with hurricanes and flash flooding. But I think my passion is just being out with the people, being out with the viewers that watch us, and helping them tell their stories and helping tell the story through their eyes. Because at the end of the day, when we think about television, people want to watch and they want to have that connect. They don't want to just look and be like, oh, look at that girl up on TV. Like, they want to feel that they're a part of everything. And so I think my favorite is being out in the field and covering the story and safely showing what's going on. But then before and after, talking to people about how they're preparing and bringing it to reality. And afterwards, showing people that these things can happen. And even after the worst storms, that together we can always recover, whether it's a community or a state or even a nation in general.
And are you still getting a chance to do that now, the actual in the field reporting?
Not as much as I would like. But if there's an opportunity, I'm always the first to put my hand up. Like when there's a snowstorm here in Denver, I'm like, send me out. I've got a very warm winter coat.
So what's the most memorable in-field situation that you've been in, and why was it so memorable?
That's an easy question because it's something I still think about to this day. So I had a great opportunity. I was networking with the folks at Lockheed Martin before I moved here to Colorado. And then I got out here with Weather Nation and found out that the GOES-S satellite, which is now GOES-West, was made here in Colorado, and that's where it was tested over its year or months of testing. And so I said, well, I'd love to get up close and personal with the satellite and learn more about it and teach our viewers about it. So I did a behind-the-scenes interview with them. And then they invited me to be the only meteorologist in the entire country to actually fly with the satellite from here down to Florida to kind of talk about the journey the satellite has to go on it and introduce people to the mechanics behind it and the military members that have the responsibility of flying this plane. And so I literally was up before the sun with my photographer at Buckley Air Force Base, and we were watching the satellite, the big crates get taken in a big procession from Lockheed Martin all the way down to Buckley Air Force Base, and then loaded onto the plane, and then actually getting into the plane with the military to fly down to Florida, and then getting into Florida and then talking to some of these people at NASA that were, they've watched the process from behind the scenes, but then here comes the satellite. And you stand next to the C5 super galaxy, and I never realized how small it was compared to that. And then the satellite. And then, that was one trip. And then a few months later for the launch, I was fortunate enough to be sent back to Florida with the photographer to cover the launch and to just continue the story. So literally from it testing here at Lockheed Martin to the actual launch happening, it was the most incredible experience, and being able to tell that story and bring it to life and also bring it to viewers that may not know a lot about the science or the satellites or technology, and let them know the importance of our next generation of satellites that are going to be watching over us.
It's so cool to see how
jacked
up you are over this like science technology thing. It's so cool. It's really neat.
Oh, I love it. And a lot of meteorologists, they don't like reporting, but I feel like when I find a topic I'm passionate about, whether it's science or whether it's STEM careers or even community, when I was working in local TV, I feel like all the experience I gained being a one-woman band reporter in my first 3 stations and not having a photog and literally having to shoot my video, write my stories, edit it, then do my hair and makeup and be live for the 5 o'clock news. I'm very grateful for that because I feel like it's made me a very good storyteller. And now I can consider myself a science journalist and get these opportunities with NASA and NOAA and Lockheed Martin and the National Weather Service and take these real cool station scientist initiatives and get the public excited about it and the viewers at home.
Right on. Well, you know what, and a great Twitter follow, by the way. You're the highlight of my Twitter feed for sure. So real pleasure.
Well, I'm excited you follow me too. So thanks, Greg.
I'm curious how big this satellite is. What can you compare it to? How big is this thing?
Oh my gosh. Well, recently I got to go and get a sneak peek preview of GOES-T, which is the next one that's going to launch next year. And so when GOES-S was in testing, it was more closed up, but they actually had the satellite open a few weeks back with its wing out and its panels and everything. And it probably was about 3 or 4 school buses long.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
It's overwhelming. And that's the best word I can use to describe it, is it's overwhelming. And I think, what were they saying? The weight of it with fuel is 14 or 15,000 pounds.
Wow.
If you can imagine.
If you run into that thing in space, it's going to cause some damage, is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want to say this, all the South Pole elves know that winter storms can really be crazy. We've just kind of gone through some already. And if you're in a vehicle and you get stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time, it can be nasty. But I want you to know there is an app that can make your next road trip more enjoyable, faster, and best of all, it's going to make it safer. And the Drive Weather app, it shows you the forecast only on your route at the time you're expected to be at each point. An interactive time slider at the bottom lets you change your departure time and see how the forecast actually affects the weather on your route by leaving at different times. So you might find out that, I better not leave now because by the time I get to Philadelphia, it's going to be nasty. And if I move the slider 2 hours later and I leave 2 hours later, the storm will have passed and I'll be okay. So that's what's kind of neat about it. And now you can even compare routes without having to do a new search. So it'll give you a couple different options to look at. So don't get caught on the roads at the wrong time with your angry South Pole elf. Drive Weather is available on iOS and Android. Just visit your app store and download Drive Weather for free. Hey, it's time to take a break. We do have a new Titan U Minute, so stay tuned for that. And we'll be right back with Meredith and the lightning round. So stay tuned.
I wonder what Drive Weather said about Binghamton yesterday. They said,
"Hey, why don't you wait? Why don't you wait till the applause stops before you start talking?"
You can just edit that out, can't you?
Yeah, but then you stop the. It's going to be like,
I'm
be
sorry.
like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, MJ.
Hey, Phil, did you write that bit yourself?
What bit?
the South Pole elf one?
No, I just added that just now because you guys.
that was really good.
That was
good.
well, and the military plane and the South Pole. I mean, I'm sure they're excited right now. Just saying.
I can't tell you how many followers we have in the South Pole. It's crazy.
Really? That's all right.
Do we have any downloads in the South Pole? There's no way.
We got one, and it's a penguin. So I'm
wow.
Hey MJ, is my audio okay?
I think you sound good.
Mads, we can't hear you. What?
Yeah. No, because my screen keeps locking up, and like
you freeze every once in a while, but
like,
we can still hear audio from you.
Okay.
Yeah, you sounded fine.
All right, thanks.
All right. Where's Dan?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Bring Dan in.
He's right there.
We get Dan.
He's still there.
Long break.
So Meredith, I want you to know. So Dan Wallace, he's down in Texas, and he's a big chaser and spotter and everything. But he's one of our big Patreon supporters, so he's kind of a part of the team now as well. But we always want to give him an opportunity to ask questions. So during breaks, if he's got a question for you, shoot, Dan.
You're muted.
You're muted, Dan, but I bet it really sounds. I bet it sounds really good.
That's a great question, Dan.
And that's all the time we have.
Thanks.
You know, my boyfriend's last name is Wallace, by the way.
Ooh.
So I'm going to eventually be the future Mrs. Wallace down the road. So.
Does he know?
Does he know?
William Wallace.
Oh, he knows. I'm sure he's watching right now and just chuckling to himself, like, okay, now I really need to propose.
I want a Tiffany engagement ring.
Come on, buddy.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
So you seem like you're pretty big on digital. Where do you see digital evolving for like severe weather communication to the public?
I think it's going to be really crucial. I mean, think about all of us. How many of us all have our phones with us right now? I mean, majority of the people are either on their phones or their tablets. I mean, whether it's for work or personal, even the younger generations, like that's how they get information. And I think it's going to be a very crucial part, and it deserves just as much attention as on air, because I can tell you, I posted a tornado warning once. I believe it was either New York City or it was a big city on my Instagram feed and said, hey, I'm live on Weather Nation covering a tornado warning for this major city. And I actually had somebody write back in my story and say, oh my gosh, I just saw this. I'm watching you now. So the fact that I could use Instagram, for example, to get out a tornado warning and get people to tune in really reminded me of how connected people are to their phones. And I know, I'm sure we're all like, we're addicted to it at times, but you know, if that's the way we're going to get to people and help communicate and know that if somebody's in their car and they can't turn on a TV, but we can send an alert through their phone to let them know there's a tornado warning, I think it's going to be very critical.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's the only way I get my information. So,
Brady, you haven't seen Social Dilemma yet, have you, on Netflix?
Nope.
That's a good.
Ooh, I have.
What is that?
I
Tell me
have.
quick synopsis. What is that?
No, not going to tell you. You got to watch it.
No,
You got to watch it, but here's
I'm not
the
watching
Phil. Here's the gist. Everybody knows everything. Everything you do in front of a screen, somebody has
Everything
access
you've
to.
looked at.
Sorry,
I
Greg.
know that.
Not just that,
Just
but the
saying.
AI, the people from
Yes.
Facebook and Snapchat, all those places that are like high up, they're like, the AI is out of control. It actually controls us now. So you'll have to like watch it. It's like,
Conspiracy theory, right? Is that what it is? A lot of conspiracy.
it's actually for the people that are high up in those companies that talk about it.
I was going to say, it's a lot more real than we probably know.
Yeah.
Hey, Meredith, have you
Yeah.
ever done any storm chasing?
I have actually here in Colorado. Well, back in college, we had the Valparaiso University Storm Intercept team. So that was my first taste. And then this is like really the first place. We didn't chase a lot in Rapid City, but Colorado is just so fantastic. You go, if you know, east of I-25. And that was my first chase. And we were about a mile south of a rain-wrapped tornado. And so we couldn't get any, we didn't want to get any closer just to be safe. One of my meteorologists that I work with but we did chase a hail core after that. And I got to see golf ball size hail, like come through the parking lot. And I have to say, I was geeking out so much. I'm like, oh my gosh. And people around are like screaming and running to their cars. And there's me like, I
I want to catch one.
It was scary, but it's just cool being out there in the weather. And I would love to do some more. So I'm hoping down the road I can get those opportunities, because it's just so fun to see that it's not the same taking a view or video of something and actually being in the elements and tracking it on your radar, and then intercepting a storm based on the math you're doing in your head to how fast the storm is moving. Like, I was so excited. I told my other co-worker that was driving, I'm like, hey, I just did the right math. We got 5 minutes before the storm is in. Yes.
Meredith, when did you graduate from Valpo?
When did I?
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2008.
Okay, yeah, I went to Valparaiso my first semester of college. It was awesome. I love the
First
program.
semester.
Yeah.
Wow. You really got
I was playing baseball, and I stopped playing baseball. My tuition doubled, and I was like, I can't. I mean, the tuition there is
he got kicked out.
And Meredith, just
scholarships.
it was amazing.
Just so you know, Meredith, we're planning a Stormfront Freaks storm chase in the second half of May.
Yep, late May.
And
Freaks minivan.
Yep. We're gonna get a minivan and throw some magnets on the side. It's gonna be mean. Fucking mean, baby.
Get some Kevlar. Put some Kevlar on the side so it's invincible.
Hey.
Drive it anywhere.
Here's, I think, what Curtis had to say about social dilemma.
AI, yeah, Skynet.
I was just thinking Skynet too. Yeah, Curtis.
Right, Curtis.
Yeah.
You're right on, man.
It's gonna take over.
All right, so here we go. So we'll get into the second half. I'll get started with the questions from Meredith, and then I would say about a quarter till, or 9:40, 9:45 Eastern. Right around there, we'll jump to the lightning round. And that's when the show starts to go downhill.
Literally.
I don't think she's seen our show.
No, I was actually on your show for the Trollbot for something that had happened when I was doing a live forecast. So
She's
I
familiar with Trollbot.
I was on your Trollbot like a year ago.
Nice.
So she
What you
knows
were thinking.
we dip our feet in the pond waters quite regularly.
Phil,
Hey, I'm
when
from
you
Cleveland. That's good, right?
when you come back, Phil, and you ask questions, I've got one as well. If we want to queue that up or whatever, but
That's good.
15, so.
I'll ask mine, and then you
Okay.
can go from there. That's cool. And then it's like I said, we'll go maybe about 10 more minutes of questions, and then do lightning round. And then after lightning round, we'll take another break. All right. Has anybody got questions? Dan, are you good? Did you have any other questions for Meredith right now?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Cool. All right.
Well, then, bye-bye, Dan.
Oh, hi, Dan.
He can still hear us, by the way.
It's like the dunk tank.
It is, yeah.
That's cool. We
As
should
long
have,
as it's not the weakest link, right?
we should have some kind of video that it should like dunk tank and down goes Dan. All right.
Drunk tank.
Okay, so here we go. We are coming back in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back. We're with Weather Nation's Meredith Garofalo. And Meredith, I got a question for you a little bit. So you've been at a number of different local TV places before Weather Nation, even in college, I guess. Tell me a little bit, who have been some of the heroes that have inspired you along the way that have been in TV and have kind of inspired you to go, that's the route I want to go?
Well, I'm not sure how much you know about my passion for meteorology. I've been wanting to be a meteorologist since I was 3. And so, yeah, my mom survived the super outbreak in Xenia, Ohio back in 1974, April 3rd and 4th. And for some conversation when I was 3, she told me about surviving. And she said that she was in a house. All of a sudden, she heard the hail breaking through the front windows, went to the front door, saw the tornado forming across the street, went down in the basement. And in Ohio, you have those basements where you'll have that level that you can kind of see through the windows up there. And she said it touched down in the backyard of the house that she was at. The house next door was a split level. The second level was gone, and everything else on the street was wiped out.
Wow.
And then she
you're basically Joe from Twister.
Oh my God.
I guess so. A brunette Joe, right?
Right.
And she just volunteered with the Red Cross to help people. And I think it was fate. I'm a big believer in things happening for a reason. And at 3, I just felt that I wanted to help warn people of damaging storms and save lives. And so for all of the newbies, or I guess you would say the younger generations, it was like a Facebook Live. I made a forecast on my Fisher-Price tape recorder. And I was warning people about how to survive a tornado by jumping in your toilet and closing the lid, which now I don't know how that would make sense. I know.
Get past your swim test first.
Oh, God.
This is at age 3?
I was 3. I was 3 years old.
That's
And
impressive.
so I grew up watching all the Cleveland meteorologist legends, Dick Goddard, Betsy Quinn.
Dick Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
And so those were my heroes, I guess you could say, growing up. And then I just pretty much read every single NOAA and Nova tornado videos. I was watching those. I was renting them from the library. I mean, I was a serious geek my entire childhood into adulthood. And I guess if I had to pick like one person that was the biggest mentor or influencer in my life, and I'm not sure how many of you remember him, but the late Rich Apuzzo. He was a chief meteorologist in Cincinnati, Ohio. And when I was a freshman at Valpo, he was at one of the NWA conferences, and I met him. And he just took me under his wing, and he was always supportive. And then when I graduated and throughout my entire career before his death, he was always a phone call away. Even he'd have a busy work day, and he'd still make time for me if I needed to cry over something that was going on, or if I lost a job, or if I got a new job and I was really excited about it. And he just taught me so much about the TV business. And when he passed, it was heartbreaking, but I really think I wouldn't be where I'm at in my career today had it not been for him just being so open and honest, and just always being a mentor that, I mean, I could always count on him, even until up to his last year, because he died from sorry, I get choked up, but brain cancer. And
Right.
so, but I talked to his wife after that, and she was just like, Meredith, he really is proud of you.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, it was tough, but to have a mentor like that inspired me, but it also has motivated me to be the best mentor I can, because you just never know whether it's one word or one moment that could change somebody else's life and their trajectory of their career.
You got to know Ruth Ann too? She's great. They're great people.
Amazing people.
Yep. He and I used to hang. We were the only Italian people together. So Jeff Ruby used to invite us to his birthday parties. Nobody knew. We didn't know. He sent me a dead fish with a ransom note, and I was new to the area. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I just received a ransom note for a birthday. What is this? So Puzo, he was always there. He's like, hey, Masara, how you doing? Anyway,
Hey.
he's a good guy, right?
Wow.
Yeah, sure
Wow. Wow.
Meredith, I have a question for you about Weather Nation. So you say you come in, you help to do the forecast. Like, how is it structured there? Because I was at the Weather Channel for a long time, so I like to compare, what other meteorologists do. Like, do you come in? Are you producing it? Or do you have weather producers? Are you actually doing the forecast? Or how? Like, do you have separate people who do separate things, or do you have to do everything?
We have a lead weather producer, but for the most part, we do everything. We come in, we put our shows together. If we need assistance with building graphics, some of our managers or our lead weather producer will help us out. But literally, I'm coming in, I'm producing my shows with my co-anchor or co-anchor sometimes. And then when it's our time to go upstairs, we go upstairs and we do it all.
So how much
Usually
time
going
do you prep
upstairs
before you
is the bad
start?
thing.
Well, let's see. For example, I come in at 11:30, so the earliest sometimes I could be on the air is 1 o'clock or 2, and
That's not that long.
No, and I do my own hair and makeup. So
Yeah, you could spend more time in hair and makeup. I've known a lot of people in hair and makeup longer. And if you're doing graphics, you're checking the weather, you're doing everything. That's a lot to do in a short amount of time.
It made me the best multitasker, I think.
Well, that's great.
So listen, Meredith, I mentioned earlier that I had a question for you. I have 2 daughters, and you brought up the topic of STEM and being involved in science and technology. advice for young women, getting into the field? Anything you got? Because I'll pass it on to my girls.
Oh, I mean, I'm such an advocate for STEM careers, whether it's my field of meteorology, whether it's engineers. I mean, there's so much progress. And I say that because when I graduated from college, I was the only female in my graduating class to go into TV broadcasting and meteorology. And now you see a lot more. You see a lot more chief meteorologists leading the weather teams. But I think it's always going to be a challenge because it's a field where it always started off as a man's field. And, you'd be on a weather team and you were the only female with 3 or 4 other males. And so it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you that firsthand. I mean, some people get things handed to them. I never had anything handed to me. I had to work my way up with my career. I had to take jobs and lose jobs. And I think one of the biggest things I always like to tell people, and I know it sounds cliche, but you can't ever give up on your dream. And I think it really hits home to me because I had a female professor my freshman year, not like my grades. I wasn't the best at math and science. I struggled, but I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I wanted to learn the field of meteorology. And she told me my freshman year, you really should reconsider your field. I don't think you know what it takes to be a meteorologist.
That's awful.
Let's go get her.
So Meredith, we have so many examples on Weather Trollbot where really bright, talented, smart women get trolled for what they wear or the way their voice sounds or any of these kinds of things. Do you have a moment, like a punch in the face, like I want to tackle you right now moment?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have been called pretty much everything in the book. I've been too fat. I've been too skinny. I haven't been pretty enough. I saw someone say, God, that girl's ugly. Get her off the air. I've literally heard I know, rude, right? I've heard everything. And,
rude.
I've heard it all, but I really think something that should be taught in college, especially for the younger girls, is you're going to always have people that hate you. You're going to always have people that love you. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's the negativity that we focus on versus all the positives that we're doing. And so you just have to grow a thick skin, and it's going to take time. I mean, I'm going into, 2008. I mean, I'm going into almost 12 years in the TV business, and I still get hurt by some of the comments, and I still get hurt by the things that are said versus all the positive things that I hear. And I just think it's part of this business. You have to understand that, but you also, I think, and this is something I'm really strong about. I know it's easy to put people out there and to, maybe share something when somebody's negative to you and say what they said. And I think there's sometimes it's a time and place for that. But, if you're sharing what people said about you and saying nasty stuff about them, it's just as bad as that person. So you have to learn to take the high road, suck it up sometimes, but then there's other times when you're going to have to defend yourself when it's something that is worth defending, if that makes sense.
Get a filing cabinet and keep all your positive notes in there. So when you get down, you just open that cabinet and go, you know what? It's all good.
I always remember your mom's watching, because she would definitely be proud of you. But
you're on TV and they're not. So
that's right. So that is the sound, folks. It's time for a lightning round. So Meredith, this is our game show of flashy and I say brilliant.
Do you come up with these questions? Is that why you say brilliant?
Because it has to do with lightning, but I don't know that they're always brilliant. But we always invite.
Wait! I thought it's lightning.
Yeah, with an E.
Lightning.
Lightning.
Lighting. No, it's the lighting.
I had to.
That's the Fisher Price in her. By the way.
All right.
It's my greatest pet peeve.
Yes.
Your greatest pet peeve?
It is.
I don't understand that. I really don't. Why that's such a big pet peeve. I mean, I get it. You might spell it wrong, but I just spelled your wrong. I spelled it Y-O-U-R in our private chat instead of with the apostrophe E. But
Phil probably spells it with an E.
Anyway, let's get to the game, because this is the fun part. So we invite everybody to always play along with us, and especially our Patreon members that are watching us live in the chat. But so here's the scoop. Meredith, I know you are a singer.
Really?
I have seen you tweet karaoke stuff. I've seen you do on YouTube national anthems, and you are a singer. And obviously, it's the holidays, and so Maz, you're gonna like this. But we're gonna play a little game tonight that is called Naughty Christmas Lyrics.
Oh, man.
Naughty
You had
Christmas
me.
lyrics.
Bait and
And
switch, baby.
You know, here's what's funny. So I'm going to go through some lyrics with you. And these are like well-known Christmas songs that kind of make you second guess a little bit what they might be singing about. But your goal is to tell me what the song is. Like what is the actual song that these lyrics are from? And I'll tell you what, I'll give you bonus points if you want to sing the song.
Ooh, I might take you up on that.
Okay. All right. So here we go. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get it right, what we always do is I turn it over to the freaks and they get an opportunity to jump in and say so as well.
And
so
get it wrong. Yeah.
all right. So here we go. So the first one, these are the lyrics. Then I saw Mommy tickle Santa Claus underneath his beard, so snowy white. Name that song.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Very good. Well done.
Extra points.
All right. I'll give you 10 points for that for singing it. All right, here's the next one. Oh, come over here and help me trim the tree. I want to wrap you up, baby. Then you'll
Is that a
see.
song?
I think we're making stuff up.
Sorry.
Now.
Did you write that?
No, I'm not done.
Your
Sorry.
song, Phil?
Deep in his
More.
brain somewhere.
All right, so I'll try this again. Greg,
Phil, what's going on here? Okay.
it's lyrics, buddy. It's lyrics. Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody.
No, it's not.
All right. Oh, come over here and help me trim the tree. I want to wrap you up, baby. Then you'll see you're the only present I need. Name that song.
I feel like it's a Hallmark Christmas song.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Please do
not.
not.
Yeah, no.
It's not. All right. What's your guess? All right. I'll turn it over to the freaks. Freaks, you got any idea?
Baby.
Oh, Christmas tree?
That's Santa Baby. Maz, you got
Santa
it. Santa
Baby.
Baby.
Wow.
As soon as you did the Eartha Kitt version, I'm like, oh.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's all right. Here we go. Moving on to the next one. Hang up your pretty stockings and turn off the light. Santa Claus is coming down your chimney tonight.
Stop reading it like that, Phil.
They're lyrics.
It's not penthouse letters, Phil.
Like,
Give it away.
My mother has
Very
signed
dirty.
off. I'm just saying.
Sorry, Ma.
All right, Meredith, do you have an idea what song that is?
Oh my
No,
god.
do it again. Read
Do
it
it
Yeah,
again.
one
one
more
more
time.
time,
Let's
Phil.
listen one more
All
time.
right. Hang up your pretty stockings and turn off the light. Santa Claus is coming down your chimney tonight.
It's not Santa Claus is coming to town, is it?
That is incorrect. Close, but freaks. Any
Well, I
idea?
thought that's what it was.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus.
It is Santa Claus is back in town. Elvis Presley.
Oh, Elvis.
Back in town. So you were close, but it just wasn't the same song. But the name of the song was close. All right, Meredith, here we go. Next one. You're going to get this one, I promise.
Okay, good.
The neighbors might think, baby, it's bad out there. Say, what's in this drink? No cabs to be had out there.
Because, baby, it's cold outside.
Very
Bravo.
good.
Where did you get that from? Was that my Twitter?
Oh, my God.
My throwback?
Didn't you post? Didn't you do something karaoke?
I did. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. I did a karaoke, and the guy that was running it's like, let's sing a duet. And I'm like, okay.
There
and
we
he had
go.
no idea I knew the lyrics.
All right. You're an entertainer. All right, here's the last one. This is for 100 points for anybody. Santa Claus got stuck in my chimney when he came last year.
Sorry.
Your mom's gone, so it's okay now. Wow.
Santa Claus got stuck in my chimney when he came last year. Name that song. I basically said it.
Phil, I'm turning off your radio privileges, man. I'm provoking those.
All right, freaks, any idea?
No idea.
All right, that's Santa Claus Got Stuck in My Chimney by Ella Fitzgerald.
Wow.
All right, so there we go. Naughty Christmas lyrics. That's what it's all about. But you did a great job, Meredith, and you do have a great voice, by the way. Great job on that.
Yes.
Good job.
Well done. So do this. First off, tell our listeners how they can maybe follow you on social media and watch your karaoke presentations.
Hey, reach out to me. It's the same on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's at GAROF as in Frank, ALO, or Garofalo, WX for weather. And so I'm sure you can see me tagged in their posts. But yeah, say hello, give me a follow. I'll follow back. We'll talk weather, but also lyrics, as you know.
Did you just say Garofalo?
Yeah, didn't you just say your name wrong?
How everybody's going to look at if they Google Janine Garofalo, they'll probably find the correct spelling because it's spelled the same way. So I suck it up a lot and, put it to my long distance or long lost relative or whatever. Sorry.
All right. So I'll tell you what, hey guys, after the holidays, everybody knows it's time to take back what you didn't need and, of course, get what you really wanted, right? Isn't that what the holidays are all about? At wxshed.com, weathershed.com, they have a huge selection of weather-themed merchandise, including Stormfront Freaks shirts, mugs, face masks, and stickers. Go to wxshed.com and click on the Brands tab to find all your Stormfront Freaks favorites. But hey, it's time to take our final break. We've got hashtag WeatherFools, wasted weather clips, and good old Weather Trollbot 5000 returns. That's all coming up next.
This is so fun.
There you go.
That last one was painful, though, Phil.
And there's a ton of questions I had.
Wheels are coming off.
Well, Dina, go ahead. Throw another question out there. What do you got? We'll
it's just like, when we were talking about how people, are different with women, and that will probably be that way for a while. I've had a long career in this too, and I've seen it. And I do like to ask women how they handle these things. Like I remember asking Janice Dean, and she said she uses humor.
Yes.
And I have too, where I'll joke, but it's pretty much like, shut the what up. And I laugh about it to kind of, but I mean, it's good to hear how other women handle it in the industry and still are able to move on. It's not like they've stuck up for themselves and then been punished for it. I've seen it both. I've seen a lot of women do that and then they're not in this business anymore. And some who excel. And I'm always looking for that key.
I have to be honest because, I see sometimes Mets will either quote tweet or reshare some negative stuff. And then they have all the hatred of their followers that are putting hatred to this person.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like you're doing the same thing they're trying to do to us when you do that. Now, not saying it's okay for those people to reach out and say those things, but sometimes I might just write a little message back versus actually putting it on my public stuff where people will be able to see it versus just replying. Or if it's a private message through work, sometimes I'll just go in there. And I was always taught by my mom to, kill them with kindness. And majority of the time, that's what I do, whether they respond positive and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were reading this. I'm sorry. Or they are just trying to get into a fight with you. And then I just ignore them because I'm like, you're not worth my time. Life is too short. But for the most part, I just try to kill them with kindness. And if it is something that's really a huge topic or something that is worth, I guess you would say, sharing or bringing to people's attention, I might do that. But I don't like being a bully back. I mean, as much as I hate when people are mean and evil, whether it's to myself or even to some of my colleagues or other females in the business, I don't want to stoop to their level. I always want to take the high road, and it might suck and I might suck it up. But you know what? At the end of the day, I just want to leave something better than I found it, and they can take it and run great, or they can just keep doing what they're doing. But you never know with these people out there because you don't know them.
Yeah.
And if you can't kill them with kindness, you can always dox them.
Weather Trollbot will take care of that.
Exactly. There we go. See, I totally love Weather Trollbot for that reason.
Yeah, that's what Curtis just said on the comments. You need to forward all the jerks to Trollbot.
There we go.
MJ, how's my audio right now? Is it any
sounds
different?
good.
Is it fine?
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm worried how Trollbot's.
Well, so here's what I did. I've actually gone ahead now and I took out echo cancellation and I've added the stereo audio again.
So you went back to the way you were,
right?
The way it worked.
And it's weird, I guess, if it's working.
Yeah, it was
now,
probably just some weird glitch that was going on. So.
Okay. So otherwise, I was going to say I won't play the music intros to these segments.
Oh,
and
right.
have you edit that in, but if they're
now they work.
if they
fine
sound
now,
okay, then we'll be good. All right. All right. Hey, Meredith, do us if you would do us a favor and do a quick plug for us. Say this is meteorologist Meredith Garofalo with Weather Nation, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Can I leave my station name out of it?
You can do whatever you want. Yeah, we're fine.
The Stormfront Freaks podcast, right?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. This is meteorologist Meredith Garofalo, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Cool. Good job. Thank you. We'll take it.
All those years in local TV promos, I'd hope to get it down by now.
Nailed it.
All right.
From Weather Nation.
What do we got? Does Curtis have any other questions? He's got that. He's good. Greg, Dan, you got anything else from Meredith?
Come on, Dan. Oh, really?
No,
we might not meet again for a while.
Yeah, kind of a one-trick pony.
Okay. Either that or I scared you off. So.
No.
All right. So Meredith, are you sticking around for these last 3 segments?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Corner
fun,
and drink,
right?
y'all.
All right. So this is where it continues to go downhill from there. But
Literally.
we will. So Brady, I will. We will do We'll do your intro to Weather Fools, hashtag Weather Fools. So you get to explain. And then I do have one. I got to pull it up, but I've got one. So who else?
I have one.
Looks like Dina. Yeah.
I have one.
Share those screens.
Sharing them.
Good call.
Dina, Brady.
I'm Phil. I felt that this week I would do this. I would pull a Maz, and I didn't do any weather fools.
We
this
got
week.
we got
Just
plenty
like a
of
new
Maz
phrase?
going on. Yeah,
I pulled a
Maz.
Maz.
You said we need to share our screens right now?
If you have a weather fool
If you
to
have a
share, do you have a weather fool to share?
No, you could just you could just kind of kick back and watch them. They're like people doing stupid stuff.
Yeah, people don't
Or-
stuff that deals with weather.
Or you could share your screen and become a weather fool.
What's
Yes.
a weather fool? I'm still learning.
So weatherful. So like, imagine you go out and you drive into 4 feet of water and your car stalls out. That's a weatherful. Someone who didn't really do something that smart.
Can I just comment? Because that's more fun.
Sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Always show skeletons.
Oh, man.
I shouldn't say that. She's not.
Phil, you've got one. You said.
I'm in the
Come on,
process here.
man.
Hold on.
Okay.
There we go.
So Phil, I got a question
All
for
right,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we go from weather fools. So Brady's just is he gonna send it right to Greg, and then Greg's gonna send it right to me?
Well, so here's
send it
what I'm
to
going to
Greg.
do. So we're going to finish with Weather Trollbot. So I mixed around the agenda just a little bit. So we'll go from Brady. He'll close out talking about episode 121 show notes to find these weather clips that we're talking about. And everybody just remember, again, primarily an audio podcast, so explain to the audience what we're seeing. And so then, Dina, what I'm going to do, so once Brady says, so you can go to episode 121, show notes on your podcast app or go to stormfrontfreaks.com, whatever he says. When he's done, then I'm going to come in with a little tub thumping.
Is that like get knocked down but I get up again? I'm
Yeah,
ready.
yeah,
Don't get me down.
Gosh, I love the Bee Gees.
So you get...
Is this karaoke now? I I haven't been to karaoke since last year.
So anyway, Dina, I will come in with that, and then you can start explaining wasted weather clips. Now, here's what you're going to do, just so you know. And Meredith, this is you.
Ooh.
So we have so Dina, we scour the dark web, right, to find some discarded weather forecasts that were potentially done by people that might have been a little bit on the sauce at the time, right, or might have been drinking a little bit or whatever, and they've discarded it, and we found them, and we're now going to play them for you, and then I'll take it from there and I'll play. So Meredith, this is you. And just so you know, what we've actually done is we've slowed it down. So it sounds like you're kind of slurring your words a little bit.
I don't mind being the brunt of a joke. I might as well get it over with.
Yep.
On Weather Nation.
Meredith, I'll be honest with you, Meredith. I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes I don't have the balls to do that, right? To like play a clip like this while the person is on. But there are certain people that we have on as guests that from either following them on social media or whatever it is, maybe it's the time that I have with them on the sound check that we do before the show, I just kind of know, like, okay, this person, we can have some fun with this person. They're going to have a good time, and they're all about partying and having a good time. So this is why I've done it, because I'm like, all right, Meredith seems like the kind of person that she can have a good time, right? She can have fun. So anyway, so this is you. So I will kind of introduce it a little bit, and then as I'm playing it, you guys can comment and talk. It's like maybe a minute clip or something. And we can kind of comment on it while I'm playing it. Dina, does that make sense? Kind of what it is?
Yeah. Are we not? So are we skipping Trollbot?
No, we're jumping to Trollbot. I'm just putting it at the end. That really seems to be, and I don't know why, but that's really a fan favorite. I get more comments on Trollbot than anything on social media.
You know, I have to agree with you on that because I didn't know about Trollbot until like 3 or 4 people tagged me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Meredith, you made Trollbot." I was like, "What's Trollbot?"
Like it was
and
a
then
big
I
deal.
also made FTV Live that day for the same thing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Wow.
So the one thing too, Phil, with wasted weather, I don't have to wrap anything up once I give it.
No,
to you.
yep. So it's just
You're
wasted weather clips, so you can kind of introduce what it is, explain that, hey, we're scouring the dark web for some discarded clips, and so I've started calling it wasted weather clips instead of just wasted weather.
Okay.
But just say and we happen to find something with our guest tonight or whatever, and then you can turn it over to me, and I'll just, for the most part, play it. And then once it's done, we're done. We can chat about it or laugh about it, and then from there we'll introduce Greg. And that's your cue to talk about Weather Trollbot 5000, what that is. You can turn it over to me, and then we've got 2 Weather Trollbot clips that I'll play for you guys tonight. And again, you're all welcome, and Meredith, because now you are a honorary co-host now. You're welcome to comment on all this stuff and make fun of Brady.
She's a freak. She's a freak.
You know what? People make fun of me every day, and I've already forgotten the order of what we're doing. So we're gonna reiterate that.
I don't think they picked yet who.
So we're going Weather Fools, Wasted Weather Clips, Weather Trollbot, and then Freak Fanbox. MJ, we got something.
Yeah, and interestingly, it's about Weather Trollbot.
Okay, and then I will close it up. I will close it up from there. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to Dina, not Greg.
Well, you just finish it. You just finish it, right? Like just finish whatever you're closing. You're going to finish it by saying, "Hey,
Mortal
go."
Kombat, finish it.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
I'm an angry fucking South Elf tonight.
All right. So Phil, who else has a weather fool?
Phil, Brady, and Dina.
Hey, let's do this. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, and then I will close it up. Okay, all right. Are we good?
Bye, Dan.
Let's go.
All right.
Bye, Dan.
Dunk tank. It's
gonna be great.
Drunk tank.
All right, so here we go. We are coming in 3, 2.
Woo! Welcome back, everyone. We got a crazy lineup for you guys here. First up, we have everyone's favorite part of the podcast, Weather Fools. And for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, or for those of you that have a short-term memory, Weatherfools is, what is Weatherfools? We're going out as the freaks. We're looking on YouTube. We're looking on Twitter. We're looking on anything where we can find something, a clip, a news story, or something that where basically it details someone that did something stupid, silly, or just downright dumb, and it has to do with the weather. I understand we have 3 Weatherfools today. Dina, who is your Weatherfool this week?
Okay, mine is a nice snowy one, just because we got a big storm. But this sets up where you could tell there's a guy on a bike, like a mountain bike on a ski slope. So that
what could possibly go wrong here,
what
Dina?
What could possibly go wrong? Because I'll do skis. I'm not going to do a bike. So he's racing, and he is just pedaling away.
Pedaling away.
Look at him go.
Going hard, and you think, oh, good, he's almost done. He's at the end. At the end,
hit the snow fence.
Somersault right over the fence. You know,
Like, isn't the snow fence supposed to prevent you from going into the crowd like that?
I think that's
Apparently not
different
when
if
you're
you're
on
on
bike.
skis. Then maybe your center of gravity
It's meant
is
to
down
feel.
lower.
It's meant to make you feel safe. You know, like.
Did stick the landing. Yeah.
But
Why
it's
do we
funny
take so
because-
much pleasure in other people's pain?
I don't know, but everybody just stood there and they keep clapping. You know, nobody goes over and helps them up either. But I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, he's going, and he can't stop, and he goes over the fence.
You
gotta
see the
watch
first time
it.
I skied here in Colorado. I probably
Where'd you
looked
go?
like it. Let's be honest. Actually, it wasn't Colorado. It was in Rapid City, South Dakota. Oh, I mean, up in the Black Hills, but I can't see.
All I know is I want to know what sport that is because I want in. All right, I want in.
You want to do it?
Yeah, heck yeah! Ride a bike down a mountain. That'd be sweet. You know,
Wait.
like mountain biking, but with skis. I don't know.
He says that as he's going to Florida.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, Dina, that was fantastic.
That was a cute
Phil,
one.
who is your Weatherfool this week?
All right. Well, of course, it's winter, as Dina talked about. And so I'm going to go to Canada. No, this is Canada. Sorry, this is the Ukraine. Pretty much same thing. But this is a video of an icy sidewalk, uphill sidewalk, by the way.
Oh, no.
And there's a
no.
girl or a woman or something that's trying to get up the sidewalk. Someone's trying to help her a little bit. She can't get up the sidewalk, and she even tries to hold on to the side.
And then the guy just gives up on her.
It's like a treadmill that you just stop and then
She
you
keeps
go
going.
back.
She keeps going backwards. She falls down probably 20 times in this video. She tries.
I think
crawling.
she's wearing Uggs.
Look, she's crawling, and
Crawling
she's like,
now.
I got it too."
Like the Home Alone 20. I mean, seriously.
Think about the
that's
security guard who's looking at this footage. How much fun they're having.
She's
the
trying
first
to
time
cross
they saw
the
it.
road to get to the other side, and she's still falling on her butt. She can't even.
Phil, when this clip first came up, I actually thought that was water out on the street. That's how much ice there was there.
Wait, but we all forgot the lady at the end who perfectly
But
did her way across
yeah.
the sidewalk.
stuck that landing. That lady.
I mean,
stuck
that's-
the landing.
Seriously.
That's proof how icy it was. She just went right down. Yeah,
She's like a pro. Yeah, that's a good reminder. We always see those every time of year, but that is something that I have not seen in a while.
that's a good
So that's a great
Yeah.
Weatherful, Phil. Fantastic Weatherful. Along the same lines, sticking on the same theme here, you guys may have seen this video, but you guys know what's coming next here. So it's snowy, going down a snowy hill. A bus hits a couple of cars and clearly can't stop, pushes those
they
cars
keep
into the
going.
intersection, and then the cars keep coming.
It's called momentum.
so,
It's a scientific.
So
Oh,
right
and now
you
he's-
know,
Oh no! Oh no!
so
Oh,
basically, we've
no.
got about 4 cars now come down the hill and can't stop and are running into the bus. And then another bus is coming down the hill.
Oh no!
That bus,
Sandwich.
it's
Just
brutal. And you guys
so
can't hear it, but it's there's playing Christmas music in the background too. So it's pretty amazing.
And please
We have
get
a
in on the
car here
action.
trying to do something about the situation, but he loses control and ends up sliding down the hill right into the bus.
There we go.
Oh no!
That
Backwards!
It would look like he did like a Dukes of Hazzard spin.
Oh, God.
And then
here
ended up in a
here comes the
parking
plow
spot.
truck.
Comes the
Plow
plow
truck's trying to do
truck.
something, putting down some salt, so he's doing his job.
Oh, God.
But man, he's got a lot of speed here, coming right for the cop car, and
There it is.
nails the cop car.
Oh man.
The rear
Better
wheel
watch
come up.
out, I'm telling you why.
So anyway, I feel like that's a good
So
lesson.
good.
That's a good one.
If you see a snowy road and it's icy out, try to not go downhill. Try to just maybe
Try
turn.
not
No,
Oh,
forget that.
Just
If you
go
see that, get your camera out.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
should be doing. Get your
Yep.
camera out.
Great advice, Greg. Now everybody's going to be outside freezing their butts off in the snow.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
they'll become
Dedication.
famous. Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Dedication.
Well, we've had some pretty great weather fools today. If you want to see the links to these videos, which I highly encourage because this is some of our best weather fools I think we've had in a while, you can check out our show is 121. You can check it out on stormfrontfreaks.com or on your favorite podcast app in the show notes. Now I'm kicking it over to someone to do a next segment that I don't know what it is.
It's me. It's Vita. All right, this is called Wasted Weather, and this is where we scour the dark web and find meteorologists' forecasts that have just had enough and that said, I'm going to have a drink because I can't take it anymore, and they get all sauced up, and they do the forecast, and then, there's plenty of, I think, forecasts out there where they've recorded it and messed up, and then you record again, but, we kind of found a few, and the next one, see if you can guess who it is.
Yeah, so Dina, we pulled out a clip we found tonight, and it was kind of garbled, right? We had to kind of work the audio on it a little bit because they tried to secretly hide it from us. But our guest tonight, Meredith.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was 5 o'clock somewhere, and you were given a forecast that they must have recorded and then said, no, we got to cut that and throw it in. So, Meredith, see if you can remember what date this might have been on. I don't know.
85 in Flagstaff, 93 in Salt Lake City, going up a degree as we get into your Monday, but
Wait, was I still on the morning shift?
Phoenix?
You might have been.
75 in Colorado Springs. So
Colorado.
Monday going to be some cooler air moving in. And as far
Was I
as it
Canadian
goes
there?
for rain, we could see some heavier amounts with some of those thunderstorms. So just keep that in mind. That's where we watch that threat of flooding if we see that rain come down too quickly in too short of a time. For Denver, you're going to be looking at the best chances for showers.
You're still
and
rolling it
storms
out. It's pretty good.
Saturday into Sunday.
Tactics makes perfect.
Overnight temperature is going to be staying in the 50s, but then Sunday is when those temperatures really drop.
Really?
Oh my God! All right. So anyway, so Meredith, great job.
Oh my god, I really sound like
I don't know if you
Way to
remember
push through
what you were celebrating on that day. but-
At the end, though, you said, so-and-so, you're my best friend, and I love you.
I love you, man.
so happy to work with you. You guys are the best.
Did you get suspended with pay after that, Meredith, or without pay?
Well, I guess we're gonna have to leave that for the mystery, right?
Well, my guess is you probably here's what tends to happen in situations like this, right? You get a lot of viewers all of a sudden tuning in to go, "What the heck is going on?" So they might have encouraged it. I don't know.
And then they gave her Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off. Is that the
there we
deal?
go. That's why they demoted me to 3 days off because they need me on the air 4 days a week. That stuff.
All right. Anyway, great job, Meredith. That was outstanding. All right, let's jump as promised. This is always a fan favorite as well as a little weather trollbot, Greg.
Yeah, Weather Trollbot. This is that part of the show where, you know what, we go to people like Meredith, who has actually been a subject of Weather Trollbot, and we take people who have said really nasty things or unflattering things about our friends in the weather community. And our friends in the weather community are always very polite, and they give a response, and they say nice things to their audience. They don't want to get in trouble with their producers. But we don't always think that that's good enough. And so, Phil, I believe you found Weather Trollbot at a garage sale a long time ago. I think that's what happened. But the way it works is that we plug in our weather friends. We plug in their response to the trolls, and Weather Trollbot will actually spit out what they were really thinking. And so, Phil, you said we've got a couple trolls that we're going to be talking about today.
We do, yeah. We got a couple, and this is the time, Meredith's mom, to put on your earmuffs because Weather Trollbot has been known to really say it like it is. And I'll say this: if you guys recall, last time we had Weather Trollbot on, she wasn't working really well. And so I've been tinkering with her a little bit, and it's getting cold out in the garage. That's kind of where I leave her, and so I have no promises on her performance tonight. But I will share with you the two situations that we're going to plug in tonight. So this was, of course, Ginger Z. I mean, we've talked about calling this the Ginger Z Weather Trollbot 5000 segment, but of course we got to have her on. I think just about every time we bring in Weather Trollbot. But this was a Twitter. This person is at Colby Winters. So we're not afraid to throw people under the bus.
Yeah, call them out. Call them out.
Yeah.
So here's Colby. Colby said, after all these years, I still can't decide if Ginger Z is hot. Sometimes I'm like, damn girl. And sometimes I'm like, eh.
Jerk.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about this like 10 minutes ago, weren't we?
Yeah, over the break we were discussing this with Meredith and Dina, and so here's the thing, right? Meredith, as you talked about on break, all of our weather friends that get trolled, they're always professional, and they're always taking the high road, as you talked about, like you do. And so their response is always really nice, and Ginger Z was no different. She said, "Ha ha ha, thanks?" ? Also wondering how consistent the science that I'm translating comes across. Hopefully it's better than the hot scale.
Yeah.
Right?
Great answer.
That is a good one.
That's a pro answer.
Just professional, right? I mean, that's making all of her ABC News administrators happy, and she's being professional. So what we got to do, we got to plug that into Weather Trollbot.
Oh.
Yep, and then she kind of computes, so she's got to go through the computation. And then we find out whether Trollbot's going to kick out what Ginger was really thinking.
Here's what Ginger was really thinking. This is good shit right here. Not sure what to think of this. You seem to be winking at me at giving me the bird at the same time. I still can't fucking believe. No matter how good I do my job, shit like this still shows up in my feed every day.
Meredith, can you relate to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you never know what's going through our mind. And thank God for Trollbot, because otherwise we'd all be fired.
Wow. I feel like, Phil, you're going to be getting people sending you their troll stuff now.
I'll be honest with you. Of all the segments, like I used to get a ton of #WeatherFools sent to us all the time. And we still get, our listeners send us that, but I'm getting Trollbot wrecking it all the time. I've got a backlog of this stuff. So
really,
I do. Yep. All right. So here's the second one. So I said I had two for you, and this is a new one. I don't think we've had Cindy on before. So Cindy Fitzgibbon, she's a meteorologist at WCVB TV in Boston, and this was a troll. On Twitter, it's at Glenn_Perkin. And I want you to know, I say that, and I just quick looked up his Twitter, bio. Said conservative living in impossible liberal Massachusetts. So I just preface that.
With his mother.
Because this might understand a little bit. So Glenn says, I can't believe you just encouraged to wear the mask in the cold to keep your face warm. Try do physical labor with those masks, Cindy. The sweat builds up under the mask. You get acne, rashes, not to mention CO2 buildup in your lungs. Come on, miss. WTH, please don't.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That
So,
CO2 buildup, man, it's dangerous
Glenn.
in your mask.
so here's Cindy, and you right, Cindy, great professional response. I mean, just a sweetheart. Says, my point was, if you have to wear a mask, like kids waiting at a bus stop to get into school, then it's more tolerable in the cold than when it's warmer out. Clearly, it's never ideal, especially doing anything physical.
Great
That was her.
answer.
Very good.
But you guys know that's not what Cindy was thinking. Right. So we're gonna punch this into Trollbot, and we're gonna find out what Cindy was really thinking.
Here is what Cindy was really thinking. WTF. What a buttfuck sad response. You're worried about acne? Be a man. I can't believe I have to share oxygen with a science-ignorant a-hole like this guy. Hey Glenn, don't fall off the earth when you get to the horizon.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Throwing
Way to
a
go,
little
Cindy.
flat earther shade there as well. That's
That's
great.
fun.
That's fantastic.
All right, so Meredith, welcome to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. By the way,
Thank you very much.
all right, let's we'll keep moving on. Let's check our fan box.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
All right, we did get a little bit of mail. At least we got one. Thank you,
Hey,
Paige,
that's all right.
for checking up with us. And speaking of Weather Trollbot 5000 and the fact that that's kind of a fan favorite as well. Paige says, catching up on Stormfront Freaks podcast, actually dying at Weather Trollbot 5000, and then a bunch of laughing emojis. So,
Oh, thanks,
so
Paige.
Right on.
I'm sure Paige is enjoying this episode as well, then with another episode of Weather Trollbot 5000. So thanks for checking in, Paige. And you too can ask us questions and send us comments by looking us up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or writing to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com.
So I'll say this. So Curtis, one of our Patreon members that's with us live, said Weather Trollbot needs its own Twitter account.
Yeah.
Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Can you play on Twitter? Can you play audio that has swear words in it and stuff like that? Well, I don't know that we want to do that, but who knows? Maybe we'll just share.
Yes, you do.
That's genius. That really is.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody. I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast and this season number 5 of Stormfront Freaks podcast. But thanks for listening or watching. Before I get into who our next guest is going to be, if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe or follow the show. Usually, if you're listening to us on your podcast app, there's a subscribe button or a follow button that you can pick. And all that does is just make sure the minute we upload a new episode, you're going to get notified that there's a new one available for you to listen to. It's absolutely free to subscribe and really helps us out. And also think about who's a big weather fan, who appreciates the weather culture like you happen to do, that you might want to share our podcast with as well. We're definitely trying to get the word out about that. And don't forget, visit patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks. You can check out all the ways you can support us and how we can actually do more with you, which is kind of the goal there. Whether it's our live access to view our raw recordings and chat with us, like Curtis and others are doing tonight. Maybe it's the monthly virtual happy hours we do. We're going to do one tomorrow night. Yeah, so, and I'll tell you what I love about the monthly happy hours we do as a group with all of our Patreon members. It's an opportunity for us to all chat, not during a show, right? So we can actually chat about what's going on in life and what's happening and drink, which is always the best
game
part.
or two, right, Phil?
And you can also even join us in our green room with our guests during our show recordings. All you got to do is visit patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks, and you can join us. And especially thank you for supporting our efforts to be able to bring you this content. We do appreciate that. More importantly, special thanks to our guest tonight, Meredith Garofalo. Meredith, thank you. had a great time.
Meredith, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thank you so much, and we'll definitely have to do this again. I can't believe it's been 121 episodes to finally get you on. But we won't
Hey,
wait
it's
that long.
2020. Anything's possible, right?
That's right. we won't wait that long again. And I want you to know our next episode. So we're going to be back after the holidays with season 6 of Stormfront Freaks podcast, which is unbelievable that we've already made it this far.
Weird.
We have seasons?
And who better to kick off the new year than first-time guest Stephanie Abrams from the Weather Channel is going to be with us.
Yay!
All right.
So I think we're finally in the good graces of the Weather Channel again. And I shouldn't say that. They might be listening and might pull her off before we have a chance. But no, we're looking forward to have Stephanie on. That'll be a lot of fun. We're recording live and raw for our Patreon members on January 7th. That's when we'll be doing that show. So for MJ, Maz, Brady, Greg, Dina, and Meredith, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we'll catch you guys all next time. So good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Meredith, great job. Thank you so much.
Nice.
That was fun.
It was.
So does that mean you'll
It's
come
funny
on
my
again?
laptop cut out.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to come on again, and because we got a new year, new adventures. I mean, I got a new satellite to cover, so by the end of this year, I'll have another one under my belt. So
That'll be cool.
for all of our
Is that where you're
satellite.
hiding them?
Yeah, there's a closet here at my house that we actually had to redo just so I could.
I feel like by the time we have you on next time, you'll be like, have already gone up and visited like International Space Station.
You know what? I could be the first meteorologist in space.
That would be awesome.
I actually thought that's where you were going when you started telling the story. I was like, no way.
Hey, if NASA wants to send me, I'll do all the experiments on the moon.
That's awesome.
All right.
Hey, I didn't hear anybody comment on my Darth Vader Yule log I've got behind me that's been playing the whole time.
Why is it Darth Vader?
Oh, is it the?
Oh,
his,
I see it.
melting?
I
I see it now.
I don't see it.
I just thought it was a
Yeah,
log.
we'll make him larger and see it.
Oh my God,
It's like a fire.
It is.
Wow.
That's been playing the
always thought it
whole
was
time.
fire.
It's a gift that keeps on giving the whole year round.
That's right.
Darth Vader Yule log.
All
I
right.
love it. I love it. It's almost as popular as Baby Yoda.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not as popular.
Phil,
I love that
before
show.
Before you go off, am I supposed to send this? Is this to Russia? Is this a Russian address?
Yeah, Russia, Canada, same thing. But yeah,
Right.
Canada. It's got to go to Canada.
So, what?
Yeah, sorry, buddy. That's what you get for
Sorry,
getting 3
box.
gifts for this year's holiday
Is
weather
this
special.
address really sorry box 15? What?
Hey, Brady, where is it going?
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
Shannon Bolesky won it.
Selkirk?
Oh, awesome. Good for her.
Okay.
This just doesn't look like an address to me. That's all.
Yeah.
Greg, where are you at in Canada?
I am in Saskatchewan.
Okay. My Scott is from Alberta, like Edmonton, Calgary.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You
Foothills.
need one of those shirts. When I was I've been in Canada a couple times, but I love the shirt that says, do you know, oh, you're from Canada, do you know John? Or something like that. Like, if you're in Canada, you must know this person, right? That's like clear across.
Do you know what's ridiculous about that, though, Phil? I think every time I've gone down to Mexico and, been at a swim-up bar talking to somebody, and then they go, oh, really, you're from, do you know, so, and it's like, yeah, I do.
Oh, no kidding, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I do.
That's funny.
Brady, you need to send that address to Greg. Greg can translate it for you and send it back.
Greg, is there anything special I have to do? Like, do I have to put like 15 stamp? Like, I don't know. I haven't mailed.
No,
something
here's
yet.
what you do. You
So-
go to
find a
you got to
post
package it. You got to package it. Go to the post office.
Do I have to put like bubble wrap around it or something?
No, but you could just,
Brady, you have to use a landline. You have to phone the post office with a landline.
That sounds awful.
And
you do have to fill out like a claims form.
Oh God!
But they'll tell you it's like this big, and they'll tell you, and you just have to state that what's in it is worth, what the value is, like $45 for that hail gauge, and
then you have to pay, and then you have to pay the $200 processing fee.
Yeah,
The border fee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any Phil? We can talk another time, but just let me know if there's any other information. Like, if am I going to get I don't know? It sounds a little sketchy.
All you need is an address, buddy. You're just sending it to Canada. That's all. It's not that big of a deal. It will be a little more expensive than a 45-cent stamp or whatever stamp.
I weep for the future.
As Curtis says, letters are allowed in zip codes in Canada, so you're,
Oh, okay.
you're
You know what?
okay.
Mail. I don't know, man. It's becoming a thing of the past. I don't know.
Oh, we lost Maz. Hi, Maz.
Tell that to Amazon, right?
Yeah. Oh God, Brady, you're so weird.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
But if you don't get to it till after Christmas, I think Shannon won't mind. Guys, listen to this. So Shannon Bolesky, she's been a guest with us in the past because she's up in Canada. Great photographer, just got some wonderful stuff. Anyway, the same night. So I just told her this. Like 2 nights ago, Brady? When did I send that to you? Last night or 2 nights?
I think it was 2 nights ago. I saw you tweet yesterday. I was going to comment
So 2 nights ago, I just, I've got this random counter, and I put how many people have, met the requirements to be in the, and I just hit the random, and it picks up a number, and then I count which person that is. So it was Shannon, and I sent her, said, hey, you won this. She came back, and she said, no kidding, I just won a 4Runner tonight.
Wow.
So she run a first edition Toyota 4Runner, whatever year they came out with those, 89 or something like that. But she jumped in, like you pay $50 and there's so many squares, and you get your name on a square, and she was picked and she won the 4Runner. And then the Team Dominator hail gauge.
Did she buy a lottery ticket? I'm just saying.
Yeah, and everyone's giving her but you got a hell of a quality hail gauge tonight. That and a 4Runner.
Wow.
So I think she'll be fine if you don't get that out until after Christmas.
I'll try and get it out before. I should be able to
avoid the post office. But they'll walk you through. Believe me, the first time I had to send something to Greg, I'm like, what the hell? It's like sending it across the world. But they'll walk you through what to fill out.
What is wrong with you people?
And then just charge you the $200.
This just sounds like a whole thing, man. Oh my god!
You should have seen how much my Christmas card was to go to Scott's parents.
No way, seriously.
Like a whole $1.28.
Yeah,
it was a whole $1.28.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh God, we just sent a Christmas package to Latvia.
What?
$80.
Oh.
Wow.
Don't worry about the $1.28.
Yeah, it was like this big, right? Like
it was not big.
So Meredith, does is he officially a fiance or is it still a boyfriend? Like, what's going on there with that?
Well, he's still a boyfriend, but he didn't give me a promise ring, and so I think 2021 will be the official year.
So does he have a thick Canadian accent? Does he do the boots?
No, he's got a Southern accent, but some of his, people that he knows up there, they have the boot and the A.
Was it a ring pop?
Was it edible?
Then I might question the promise ring just a little bit.
No, he did a good job. So
all
it's
right.
I like
but
ring pops.
hey, if he gave me a ring pop, I probably would still say yes.
Well, tell him I said hi. We probably met before.
I will.
Anyway, so.
I bet he'll come in here in a few minutes and say
He'll be like,
"Oh,
totally, I know that dude."
But it's funny. He's got a Southern.
I wear the same toque as that guy.
That's weird, yeah.
Toque.
He's laughing. I hear him laughing through my headphones in the other room right now. I can't hear what he's saying. He's got to come in here, but I hear him laughing in the other room right now at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, right on.
You don't know what you're getting for Christmas. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Hey.
Dina, way to put
time.
the pressure on.
There is still time.
Yeah.
Actually, he made me a really cool gift. To be honest, he took all of my Here, come in here. You've got to see everybody.
All right, come on. There we go. Bring it in.
you, Greg.
Hey.
We were neighbors once upon a time.
I believe so. Yeah, man. That's funny.
Oh man! No, actually, he got me the coolest gift because over the last 4 years, I've covered a lot of those launches, the rocket launches. I have patches from all the GOES satellites. So he surprised me for Christmas. Took my entire collection and made a huge thing that showcases my weather and space connection.
With like framed and everything.
Yes.
Oh,
Super
wow, that's cool.
nice frame.
That is
The,
cool.
the museum glass where there's no reflection, but he made a beautiful thing that has all my patches and medals and medallions. And he's like, "Do you like it?" I'm like, "I just don't know what to say. This is the best Christmas gift ever."
Oh, that was nice.
Kudos.
Nice.
All right,
Good job.
thumbs
Good
up.
job.
I'm getting a
Right
sweater, so my sister-in-law. Yeah, it's
Where
gonna
did
be
Maz
great.
go?
I don't know. He just unceremoniously left. He just.
Oh, he was
He was
frozen.
gone. Was he frozen?
He was
cold,
frozen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know my headphones just died now, so
Well, let's say goodnight to Curtis and our other Patreon.
yeah.
folks.
All right. Thanks,
And I gotta
thanks
get
again,
up in
Curtis.
like 4
Glad you're part of the team, brother. Thank you.
Bring the shot glass tomorrow, man.
That's right.
Happy hour.
All
time.
right.